The world watches as economic giants teeter on the brink. The intricate systems that hold global finance together are showing signs of strain. At the heart of this uncertainty lies the United States, a nation long considered a pillar of economic stability. The Visual Capitalist 2020 report paints a stark picture. It reveals a global economy precariously balanced, with the US holding a concerning concentration of wealth. This concentration creates a ripple effect, amplifying the impact of any potential downturn. Whispers of doubt echo through the halls of power. Is this model sustainable? Can the US maintain its economic dominance amidst growing instability? The traditional systems built on centralized control and vulnerable to manipulation are being questioned. Bitcoin is not just a digital currency, it is a revolution. It challenges the very foundation of how we perceive and interact with money. Unlike fiat currencies controlled by governments, Bitcoin operates on a decentralized network, free from political influence and manipulation. This documentary delves into the intricacies of this new world order. We explore the potential of Bitcoin to usher in an era of economic freedom and stability, one where individuals and nations are empowered by a system built on transparency and trust. Join us as we journey through the looming economic storm, analyzing the warning signs and exploring the potential consequences of a US economic collapse. We'll examine the factors contributing to this potential crisis, from unsustainable debt levels to the widening gap between the rich and the poor. Our exploration will challenge the traditional financial paradigms, dissecting the flaws inherent in centralized systems. We will uncover how Bitcoin, with its revolutionary technology and decentralized nature, offers a viable alternative, a path toward a more equitable and stable global financial future. The American dream, once a beacon of hope and opportunity, is fading for many. The gap between the rich and the poor has widened into a chasm, leaving a shrinking middle class struggling to stay afloat. Data reveals a stark reality. The wealthiest 1% of Americans hold a disproportionate share of the nation's wealth, while millions struggle to make ends meet. This economic imbalance undermines the very fabric of American society, fueling social unrest and political polarization. The consequences are far-reaching. Stagnant wages, rising costs of living, and limited access to affordable healthcare and education create a cycle of poverty that is difficult to escape. The promise of upward mobility, once a cornerstone of the American dream, is becoming increasingly elusive for a significant portion of the population. The United States is facing a debt crisis of epic proportions. The national debt has ballooned to unsustainable levels, exceeding $30 trillion and climbing. This staggering figure represents a ticking time bomb that threatens to derail the US economy. Years of reckless spending, coupled with tax cuts that primarily benefit the wealthy, have exacerbated the problem. This unsustainable fiscal path has left the nation vulnerable to economic shocks and vulnerable to the influence of foreign creditors. The consequences of inaction are dire. High debt levels can lead to soaring interest rates, crippling inflation, and a decline in economic growth. This perfect storm could trigger a loss of confidence in the US dollar, potentially undermining its status as the world's reserve currency. Education in crisis. A fading ladder to economic opportunity. Education, once the great equalizer, is failing to keep pace with the demands of the 21st century. The US education system, once the envy of the world, is now plagued by a multitude of challenges, leaving millions of Americans ill-equipped to compete in the global economy. Underfunding, outdated curricula, and a lack of access to quality education in disadvantaged communities have created a system that perpetuates inequality. Students from low-income families face significant barriers to educational attainment, limiting their future prospects. This educational deficit has profound implications for the US economy. A workforce lacking the skills and knowledge needed for high-skilled jobs stifles innovation and productivity. Failure to address these challenges will have long-term consequences for US competitiveness in the global marketplace. The crumbling infrastructure, neglecting the foundations of economic growth. The United States, once a leader in infrastructure development, is now grappling with crumbling roads, outdated transportation systems, and unreliable energy grids. Years of underinvestment have left the nation's physical foundation in a state of disrepair, hindering economic growth and jeopardizing public safety. This neglect has far-reaching consequences. Businesses face higher transportation costs and reduced efficiency due to inadequate infrastructure. Commuting times increase, impacting productivity and quality of life. Moreover, aging infrastructure poses risks to public health and safety, as evidenced by failing dams and water systems. Addressing this infrastructure deficit is crucial for the long-term health of the US economy. Investing in modern, sustainable infrastructure would not only create jobs and stimulate economic activity, but also improve the nation's global competitiveness and enhance the overall quality of life for its citizens. A crisis of trust, erosion of faith in institutions and leadership. Beyond the economic indicators, the United States is facing a profound crisis of trust. Public faith in government institutions, financial systems, and even traditional media has eroded significantly in recent years. This widespread skepticism and disillusionment pose a significant threat to social cohesion and economic stability. The causes are multifaceted. Perceptions of corruption, inequality, and a lack of accountability have fueled distrust in government. The financial crisis of 2008 exposed the vulnerabilities of the banking system and eroded confidence in traditional financial institutions. This crisis of trust has significant implications. When citizens lose faith in the institutions that govern their lives, it becomes challenging to address pressing issues and implement effective policies. This lack of unity and shared purpose can hinder progress and exacerbate existing societal and economic divides. The US government has implemented policies that have exacerbated problems and created new ones. These short-sighted decisions have had far-reaching consequences for the US economy. The 2017 tax overhaul meant to boost growth largely failed. Corporations received tax breaks, but the trickle-down effect didn't materialize. Instead, many used the windfall for stock buybacks, enriching shareholders. Trade wars aimed at protecting jobs have backfired. They disrupted supply chains, raised prices, and hurt businesses. These policies damaged relationships with key trading partners. The wealth gap widened, and American business competitiveness declined. The US national debt has reached unprecedented levels, threatening economic stability. Deficit spending and tax cuts for the wealthy have created a fiscal time bomb. The CBO warns the debt will exceed the US economy within a decade. This could lead to a sovereign debt crisis and loss of confidence in the US dollar. The consequences are severe, affecting economic growth and government response to crises. Economic policies have exacerbated disparities, fraying the social fabric and deepening division. The widening gap and shrinking middle class create resentment and instability. The middle class decline is alarming. Stagnant wages and rising costs make middle class life difficult. This decline leads to polarization and hopelessness. The student debt crisis fuels social unrest. Young Americans are burdened with crippling student loan debt. This debt fuels intergenerational inequity. Economic disparities erode social cohesion and fuel extremism. Addressing inequalities is essential for stability and prosperity. Global repercussions, diminishing influence on the world stage. As the United States grapples with internal economic and political challenges, its standing on the global stage has also been diminishing. The policies of recent years, characterized by protectionism, unilateralism, and a retreat from global leadership roles, have eroded the trust and confidence of international partners, creating an opening for other nations to challenge US hegemony. The trade wars initiated by the United States have disrupted global trade flows and alienated key allies. The withdrawal from international agreements such as the Paris Climate Accord and the Iran nuclear deal has damaged the US's reputation as a reliable partner and cast doubt on its commitment to global cooperation. This decline in global influence has significant implications. It weakens the US's ability to shape global events, promote its interests, and uphold the international order it helped create after World War II. It also creates opportunities for rivals such as China and Russia to assert themselves on the world stage and advance their own agendas, often at the expense of US interests. The erosion of trust in the US dollar as the world's reserve currency is another concerning trend. As the US accumulates more debt and its economic policies become more erratic, foreign investors may become less willing to hold US dollar reserves, potentially leading to a decline in the dollar's value and a loss of US economic power. A system on the brink. The cumulative impact of mismanagement. The cumulative impact of these political and economic missteps is a system teetering on the brink of crisis. The combination of unsustainable debt, widening inequality, misguided policies and declining global influence has created a perfect storm that threatens the long-term health and stability of the US economy. The warning signs are all around us. The stock market, while not a perfect indicator of the real economy, has shown signs of volatility and instability. Consumer confidence is waning as people worry about the future. The manufacturing sector, once a source of strength for the US economy, has experienced job losses and declining output. This confluence of negative factors has led many economists and analysts to warn of a potential recession or even a more severe economic downturn. The exact timing and nature of such a crisis are difficult to predict, but the underlying conditions are ripe for a significant correction. The longer these issues remain unaddressed, the greater the risk of a systemic collapse. Addressing these challenges will require a fundamental shift in thinking, a willingness to challenge the status quo, and a commitment to policies that prioritize the long-term well-being of all citizens, not just the wealthy and powerful. A new hope emerges. Bitcoin's decentralized promise. As traditional financial systems falter, a new contender emerges, offering a radical departure from the centralized structures of the past. Bitcoin, a digital currency built on the revolutionary technology of blockchain, presents a decentralized alternative, free from the control of governments and financial institutions. Unlike traditional currencies, which are issued and controlled by central banks, Bitcoin operates on a distributed network. This network, maintained by a global community of users, ensures transparency and security, making it virtually impossible for any single entity to manipulate the system. This decentralized nature is at the heart of Bitcoin's appeal. It offers a level playing field where individuals have the same access to the financial system as institutions, fostering greater financial inclusion and reducing reliance on intermediaries. This fundamental shift in power dynamics has the potential to disrupt traditional financial hierarchies and empower individuals in unprecedented ways. Moreover, Bitcoin's decentralized structure makes it resistant to censorship and government interference. Transactions occur directly between users without the need for third-party approval, making it a truly global currency that transcends national borders and political agendas. This characteristic is particularly appealing in an era of increasing political polarization and concerns over government overreach. A safe haven in the storm. Bitcoin as digital gold. Bitcoin's limited supply, capped at 21 million coins, protects it from inflation, making it a digital equivalent of gold. Its decentralized nature makes it resistant to confiscation and government overreach, appealing to those in unstable political climates. Bitcoin's portability and ease of transfer make it an ideal store of value, especially in countries facing economic turmoil. Untethered and unstoppable. Bitcoin's resistance to manipulation. Bitcoin operates on a transparent and immutable blockchain, ensuring all transactions are recorded and verifiable. This immutability prevents fraudulent activities and maintains trust in the system. Bitcoin's decentralized nature makes it resistant to censorship and control by any single entity. It offers a system governed by its users, protected by the immutable laws of mathematics and cryptography. A global currency for a globalized world, Bitcoin's borderless nature. Bitcoin allows for seamless cross-border transactions, bypassing traditional banking complexities. It reduces transaction fees and speeds up settlement times, making it attractive for global businesses. Bitcoin fosters financial inclusion, empowering individuals in developing countries to participate in the global economy. The future of finance. Bitcoin's potential to reshape the global economy. Bitcoin's decentralized nature and resistance to manipulation challenge traditional finance. Its ability to facilitate faster, cheaper, and more transparent transactions could revolutionize global trade. Despite challenges like volatility and regulatory uncertainty, Bitcoin's momentum is undeniable, attracting global interest. The rise of a giant, China's economic transformation. China's transformation from an agrarian society to a global economic powerhouse is remarkable. State-led capitalism and market-oriented reforms have fueled this growth. China's rise has made it a major player in international trade and a growing investor in developing countries. Despite criticisms, China's economic transformation showcases its ambition and resilience. The digital yuan centralized control in a digital world. China introduced the digital yuan to modernize its financial system and increase efficiency. Unlike decentralized cryptocurrencies, the digital yuan is controlled by the People's Bank of China, raising privacy concerns. Despite these concerns, China promotes the digital yuan aggressively, integrating it into its Belt and Road Initiative. A battle for dominance, the US dollar versus the digital yuan. The digital yuan intensifies the competition between China and the US for economic dominance. The US dollar's supremacy as the world's reserve currency is challenged by China's efforts to internationalize the yuan. China's reduction of US Treasury securities holdings aims to promote the yuan in international trade. A shift away from the US dollar could lead to a more multipolar world, reducing US influence. This currency war will impact global trade, investment flows, and the balance of power. Bitcoin, a neutral force in a bipolar world. Bitcoin offers a decentralized alternative free from geopolitical tensions and currency wars. Its value is determined by market forces, not political agendas, making it a stable store of value. Bitcoin's borderless nature facilitates seamless cross-border transactions, fostering greater cooperation. A new era of globalization. Bitcoin and the future of finance. Bitcoin's digital nature and global accessibility empower individuals and businesses in developing countries. Its ability to facilitate microtransactions and cross-border remittances could revolutionize money flow. Bitcoin's underlying blockchain technology has transformative potential beyond finance. The currency of the future. Bitcoin's ascent in a globalized world. Traditional financial systems struggle to keep pace with a rapidly changing world. Bitcoin's decentralized and borderless nature offers a solution to these limitations. Its fixed supply provides a hedge against inflation, attracting investors. Bitcoin enables seamless cross-border transactions, paving the way for a more inclusive global economy. A new economic paradigm, decentralization, transparency and empowerment. Bitcoin's decentralized structure offers an alternative to growing distrust in institutions. The Bitcoin network ensures transparency and accountability through its public ledger. This shift empowers individuals, reducing reliance on intermediaries and fostering financial inclusion. Embracing the future. Bitcoin's role in shaping a new world order. Bitcoin's potential to reshape the global financial system is undeniable. Despite challenges like volatility and scalability, its momentum is strong. Bitcoin represents a shift in power from institutions to individuals, promoting transparency and accountability. Subscribe to our channel to stay ahead of the curve and learn more about the future of finance in a Bitcoin-powered world.